Hi everyone, this is your favorite friend Jay or Jaylan Salah, as you formerly know her, film critic at Geek Vibes Nation, In Session Film, and Keith Loves Movies. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Academy Award nominee and BAFTA-winning director Waad Al-Kateab on her newest documentary, Death Without Mercy, which, by the way, Waad, I really liked, but it kind of broke my heart in so many ways. And I love this about art. I think that art should move us and should provoke us and should call out to action as much as we can. What I want to know is why did you pick this particular topic for your newest documentary?
Thank you first for having me. I think, yeah, like I agree with you that this is kind of the purpose of art, and also it's the reality, like as documentarian, as someone who believe in what I'm seeing around me. I think, art, the main kind of things that art can do is really to reflect the truth, to reflect what really happened on the ground. And as much as that was awful situation, awful tragedy, I think, digging into the details of this, of the details of why this happened, go beyond just the news that we've watched all over like that kind of week or months. It just give you, the opportunity to like really understand and have sympathy, with these people who've been through really hard circumstances. I didn't really choose the topic. I'm a Syrian refugee, like the south of Turkey, the north of Syria, were my home for years. Um, it just something very close to myself. My family lived there as the earthquake happened. Fadi Fuad, who you watch in the film, they are my dear friends. So you can't just, stand there, do nothing. And for me, the only thing I can do is really to do this. Although I've really tried at that time to do everything I could do, reach out to people, fundraise, try to help from far away. But for me, I think the best thing I can do is really to tell the story. And that's why this film came together.
Definitely. Well, for our viewers who I hope will watch this film and enjoy it for what it is, this is about the 2023 devastating earthquake that shattered Turkey and Syria. And seriously, Waad made it from found footage, and that kind of created a sense of horrifying intimacy because I was just taking moments. I'm watching people who actually died, and I'm watching their final moments. So it was just so hard. So I want to ask you, as an artist, and being an artist makes you hypersensitive to the world, to the surroundings. How do you separate the emotional from the documentarian who is out there in the field or kind of like curating this kind of content and has to be technical and know how to deliver the truth?
Yes, like in such a circumstances like this, you don't really think about this. And especially myself, as someone who I became a filmmaker, because of the war, through the war. And for me, like all these technical things, which is definitely important at that time, it doesn't really matter. Any picture, any sound record, with a frame, without frame, good quality, bad quality, all this like material are very valuable. And they are, the heart of this film. um, Yet, as Syrian activists, we've been over the years, like exposed to so many like big tragedies. We have belief in like the story itself, in documenting the story. So if you look at the film, yes, it's been gathering of so many different materials: CCTV, news, police, cameras, and also like very much every single person who was there filming with their own phones. But yet, over all of this, we have amazing footage from Fadi and his friends around him, who they've been filmmakers for years. They documented the war in Syria for so many years. They get used to be in a situation like this. And then, Fadi himself, founding himself, and his family are the heart of the story after he's been documenting other people's stories for years. So for me, like it really doesn't matter what you really see as much as what you can feel through this material. And sometimes, like a very dark, like scene or a very bad quality like video, it really kind of makes you be in that moment. And each kind of second of this, it's very valuable and it's very important and it's worth, these huge big cameras with beautiful scenes and beautiful sound and all of this.
Definitely. So I want to know, you have a topic that is huge, the earthquake, and then you have Fadi and his family. So how do you make, let's say, not just about this film, but how do you as a documentarian narrow down a major topic like a war, like an earthquake, and choose one subject to focus on? How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's very difficult, and you have so many choices over like at the time when you start like even talk with people, and then choose who you're gonna go with, and then try to edit and all of this. But also my own belief from my own story when I made my first film for Sama was
Yes,
like,
beautiful.
if you want to talk to people about very big issue, if you want to talk to them about very hard, difficult, layered of policy and difficult situation, you need to talk to them personally. You need to make them feel like they know and they understand what does that journey mean. And for me, through that, I wasn't very like I didn't hesitate a lot since I knew I'm gonna do a film about the earthquake. For me, it was like I have to go deep. I have to go personal with someone I know, someone I understand, someone I can trust, and they can trust me because at the end of the day, when we are talking about very sensitive topic, you are talking through very hard like moments, and you need to take care of these people. You need them to trust you, and you need to really try your best to give the story justice as much as it's possible. So yes, you should go personal, you should go very intimate, you should really have this conversation that like sometimes you can't have it twice because it's very hard, but it's very important to be all like recorded and there.
Definitely. Okay, so as WAD, how do you protect yourself? Because as an artist, you need to keep your integrity. Do you feel like making films, making those documentaries are cathartic, or do you relive the trauma and you use trauma bonding with victims, with other people who have shared pain as a way for you to maybe relive it, but also in a healing way? I want to know, how does it affect you?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the question. I think it's very important in our work and in our life because, for years now, like a tragedy after tragedy, it's been really challenging. But I think part of my own feeling is like how important is a story, how much, I mean, like to be really, really honest, I'm still trying to understand, how and why and all of this. Like since also making of for Sama, which was 5, 6 years ago, it was very personal to me. And my second film was also like very challenging and difficult for me. This one also very difficult. Um, I'm still trying to understand how, but for me, like I think the most important thing is really believing in how important is it to tell this story, how much responsibility I do have. And sometimes it's really hard because, the guilt we're living and the understanding of other people pain, sometimes it's like it feels really overwhelming.
Of course.
But I don't think I have any option with that. My way to face this big tragedy as an earthquake is really to do this story with Fadi and Fuad, to be able to give them or be with them, to have a tool to keep fighting for justice, for
Definitely.
keeping the memory of their beloved ones. And I think what I always really try to push so hard for is like an impact campaign after each film I do. Through this impact campaign, we can really, push for change. This change sometimes could be really small and really tiny within like changing people perspective about something or do like an actual, projects on the ground. Um, on the back of this film, Death Without Mercy, we're trying to do two small projects inside Syria for kids in the camp. One is like a football pitch for kids to play on the name of Qutayba, Fuad and Safa's 8-year-old boy who died at the earthquake,
Yes.
and a local cinema on the name of Yaman, Fadi's brother, where people can go and watch films under the unbelievable circumstances that they are living in northwest Syria. So these two things, like they're really beautiful actions. We hope really to manage and to push forward. Like, trying to reshape this pain of losing these people into something really beautiful, make us feel like, they're still alive. within their impact.
Definitely. And I think this is the artist's duty. This is what you carry to the world. You carry your message, you carry your feelings, you carry your, the way you handle the whole situation and personalize it so that other people would also feel and share your pain and also the beauty of existence itself. So, what
Yeah.
is the journey for Death Without Mercy? Where do you plan to take it from now on?
So we have several festivals we're going to later. We have theatrical release in the UK. We've just done like a theatrical release in New York. So yeah, we hope just to spread the word as much as we can. It's going to be on Paramount Plus on February 6th, the second
Wonderful.
anniversary of the earthquake.
Perfect.
And we're planning to do so many like screenings in Europe, in the UK, in the US, and we really hope, to just at least try to push for like more policy toward like natural disasters and political disasters. The response of the UN as well in Syria was like unacceptable, and we hope to have like specific conversation with UN missions and people who are responsible, into what happened, but also into upcoming disasters, hoping that we can reduce a little bit or have more awareness of what the impact of such failure of response like could really have.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, so for Wad herself, what is coming next for you? Like, what is your next project, your next dream, your next mission? Because you seem like a missionary artist in my mind. You are very inspiring.
Thank you so much. It is for me because like for so many years I thought I would never survive and make it out to the world, make it into this amazing platform I have as a telling stories and making people feel they've been trying to do something, and
Yeah,
myself as well. It's something I think, yeah, it's a big responsibility and I have to keep going with that. I have so many ideas to do after this. I'm just trying now to slow down a little bit and focus in getting this film out, in really working around the impact of that, and not just, like make it out and move to the next project, but also the new projects I'm working on. It's all it's I can say it's like related about it's about Syria. It's about an amazing woman who's an activist. She's also a very dear friend, so it's very personal and intimate story. And I hope, whenever this film is went out in a good way, I will start diving into my new project.
wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Wad. You're amazing and inspiring, and I really can't wait for everyone to watch this film. It's a pleasure talking to someone like you. Artists like you bring light to the world, so thank you again, and can't wait for everyone to watch That Without Mercy.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for this amazing emotions.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Very nice to meet you.
You too. Bye.